Elsie Hedgespeth, the Outreach and Wellness Manager for Urbana Park District, and I'm back again for Workout Wednesday to showcase some simple ways that you can add some variety to simple moves to create an effective workout. So for today, we're really only going to be focusing on 3 different moves. We're going to be doing squats, push-ups, and either sit-ups or crunches. Now, I realize that just in saying that we're only doing 3 moves, I may have lost some of you, but bear with me. This workout's going to provide plenty of variety to keep you entertained and keep your muscles challenged. But first things first, we are going to do just a short warm-up. So I'd like to just cycle through about halfway of a sun salutation in order to do some dynamic warm-up for this workout. So starting with your feet about hip width apart, shoulders down and back, we're going to inhale up. Exhale, swan dive down, leading with the heart. Bend the knees and step the right leg back to a lunge. Good. Let your hands carry the weight as you move to plank. Knees if you need them, and lower. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Curl the toes, downward dog. Bend the knees, step the right leg through to a lunge. Good. Step together. Inhale up. Exhale, arms down. Let's do the other side. Inhale. And exhale, swan dive down, lead with the heart. Hands find the ground. Let's bend the knees, step the left leg back this time. Let your hands carry the weight, using knees if you need them. And we'll lower, keeping the elbows in. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Curling toes, downward dog. Bend the knees, step the left leg through to a lunge. Good. Step together. Inhale up. Exhale, arms down. Good. So like I said, each round, we're going to be going through 3 different exercises, but each round is going to focus on a different way that you can change up the move to add a little bit of variety. So for round 1, we're going to be focusing all on stance, positioning, or range of motion as a way to kind of adapt a simple exercise, make it a little bit more interesting, and also activate different muscle groups. So starting with a squat. I'm going to do 20 reps, but we're going to play around with stance a little bit. And I'll leave it up to you as you're working through this with me. If you go with a narrow stance on your squat, you're going to be working a little bit more of the quadriceps. The wider you go with your stance, okay, you're going to be activating the inner thighs and outer thighs and glutes, okay? So you can choose to go narrow, standard, or wide, depending on what you want to work, but that's one simple way to change up some squats. Simple body weight here, I'm going to go wide, okay? Chest up, remember, bottom sinks straight down, weight in the heels. Going for 20, here we go. 1, 2, good. Remember to squeeze on the way up. 3, 4, chest up the whole time. 6, really driving through those heels, no matter which stance you're choosing. It's 8, 9, good. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, last one here, and 20. So our next move is the push-up. Again, remember this round we're doing stance, positioning, or range of motion. So just like how you position your feet on a squat can change the muscle groups worked, so can the hand positioning on a push-up. So that's one simple way to change up just a simple exercise in order to target different muscle groups on the body. So if you're going to be doing just more of a standard push-up, which I would say is hands pretty much right underneath your shoulders. Going to be focusing more so on the chest. The more narrow you take that stance and keep the elbows hugged in, going to be working the triceps or the backs of the arms, okay? My personal favorite though, I take my hands a little bit wider, and that's gonna get into not only the chest, but also the shoulders, okay? And as always, remember, you can do push-ups on knees, you can do regular push-ups with your feet on the ground, you can elevate onto a chair with your hands or even the side of the bed, okay, if that makes it a little bit more attainable for you. Or if you're just starting out, even the wall, okay? You can change those hand positions even when doing push-ups against the wall and still get that same desired effect. It's the first round and I'm feeling like I want to challenge myself, so I'm gonna go on the toes for this one. We're going 20 push-ups, all right? And I'm going to go a little wide on my stance, and I'm going to keep my feet on the ground as long as possible. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good. So again, I went wide there, targeting not only the chest, but the shoulders, all right? And lastly, for our crunches or sit-ups. So one way that you can play with range of motion for a sit-up or a crunch is really activating a full range of motion. So rather than a crunch, we're gonna be doing full sit-ups for this round, okay? Full range of motion, all the way up, all the way back, all right? So feet planted. If you're at home and you need maybe someone to hold your feet or trying to anchor your feet under a stable piece of furniture, that's completely fine if that's gonna help you to attain a full range of motion, okay? Also, I wanna urge you, hands across the chest, hands by the ears. If you must clasp, okay, behind the head, just make sure that you're not pulling, okay? We wanna activate the abs. We don't wanna get really good at neck ups, as I like to call them, okay? We're working the core, not the neck and back. All right, here we go for 20 full sit-ups. Starting in a downward position, up for 1, exhale on the way up, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to scoot my bottom just a little bit because I realize that the more I'm sitting up, the more I'm scooching out of frame. 11, 12, 13, good, 14, still breathing out on the way up, 15, 16, good, 17, 18, 19, almost there, and 20. Good. So that was round 1. Remembering we were focusing all on stance, positioning, or range of motion, okay? So that's just one way you can change up those standard tried and true exercises. Round 2. These are some of my favorites. Going to be focusing on pulses, all right? So standing back up for our squats. Again, we just learned we can change up the stance, so feel free again to take whatever stance you want on this, but we're going to be doing some pulses. So what does that mean? We're going to be getting in that mid-range of motion, so we're never going to be fully going all the way down or coming all the way back up. We're going to stay in that mid-range right about here, and we're going to pulse. Okay? All right? So the form is the same. My weight is still in my heels. I'm still trying to keep the chest up. Okay, I can set my stance, but we're staying in that narrow range of motion, and we're really just hammering those muscles, okay? So this is gonna cause some fatigue rather quickly, all right? I usually do these for time, but we'll count it out, all right? We'll do 10 this time, all right? Setting your stance, I'm gonna show you from the side. Dropping down, and we're gonna pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, standing it all the way up, all right? Once you fully release, you should be feeling that in your muscles a little bit there. So adding pulses, really good way to work the muscles and bring them to fatigue rather quickly. Same concept for push-ups, okay? I'm gonna change up my stance this time. I'm going to do a regular standard push-up, hands directly under the shoulders. I'm gonna try on my toes. I may need to drop to my knees, but same thing. We're going to stay in that mid-range of motion. We're going to pulse, okay? Same thing, going for 10. So setting up your stance. Ready, and here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lastly, pulsing for core. I love doing some pulsing crunches, right? So same thing, starting on your back, you can anchor your feet or have a partner help you if you need to. Hands here or here, all right? But you're gonna come up to that mid-range. Sometimes you can even bring your hands forward, okay? And we're gonna pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I was never fully coming up. I was never fully extending to lay back down. I was staying right there in that mid-range of motion and just really keeping the core contracted and working. That was a quick one. Pulses go quick, which is why oftentimes rather than going for reps, I set a timer for pulses and I say I'm going to pulse for maybe 30 seconds, okay? So if you're adding that variety method into your workout, you can do it that way too, all right? Whoop, wrong way. All right, next one, for round 3, we're going to use time under tension as our way to adapt this workout and add a little bit of variety to those simple basic moves of squat, push-up, and sit-up, okay? So what I mean by time under tension? Well, anytime we're doing resistance training, even if it's just with body weight, our muscles are contracting, they're tense, okay? And if we can elongate that time under tension, that's just all the longer and harder that our muscles are working. All right, so basically, one simple way to do that is to do some isometric holding, all right? So for my squat, again, I'm going to set my stance, all right? I've gone wide, I've gone regular. I'm gonna go narrow on this one. So I've got a very narrow stance with my feet. And basically, I'm going to lower down into that squat formation and I'm going to hold, okay? I'm going to count to just 20 and then we'll rise back up. Same elements of form exist, so you need to keep those shoulders back, keep the tailbone pointed down, weight in the heels. All right, ready? Lowering down, good, holding. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and rise up. Please tell me you felt that. I did. All right, so moving to push-ups next. Basically, we're going to hold in a flexed position, okay? I'm gonna drop to my knees for this one. Holding to a count of 20 is a long time to hold, all right? And I'm gonna go for just a standard stance here, okay? So hands under the shoulders. Setting up on my knees, I'm actually going to keep my toes down and back, and I'm going to keep my bottom lowered, okay? Hands under shoulders, getting ready to bend the elbows, neck is neutral, and I'm gonna hold for 20. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. That was a long 20 seconds, friends. That's okay. It's a good way to challenge and add variety in my workout. Lastly, for our crunches, time under tension. So same kind of concept when you're working the abs as maybe holding a plank, okay? If I'm working the abs and I'm holding a plank, my muscles are contracting through my core the entire time I'm holding it. Same thing goes for a crunch style exercise. So I'm going to hold more of a boat position, okay? So sitting up, I usually like to use my arms to measure here. So I sit back, arms straight, back is straight, chest is proud, okay? You can raise the feet for more of a challenge. And we're gonna hold for 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down lightly. Good. All right, so that was the end of round 3, using time under tension to add some variety and changing up our workout. Last round, our method of adding some variety, going to change up the volume or number of reps, okay? And the best way that I like to do that is to go for time and see however many I can get in 30 seconds or a minute with good form, okay? Oftentimes we see in class or when we're training people that once you set a timer and you tell people as many as possible in this amount of time, the good form tends to just go out the window, okay? Never, ever, ever sacrifice good form for a number of repetitions, okay? But for this one, I'm going to be setting a timer here for 1 minute. And we're going to be doing as many squats with good form as we can do in that 1 minute. Stance of your choice, narrow, standard, or wide. Ready? And let's go for it. I'm not going to count because the timer is going to count for me. I'm just going to focus on my form. Making sure I'm driving those heels in. My bottom stays back, chest stays up, and I'm squeezing as I come up. Good. We're on the last round, everyone. So once we make it through squats for about 30 more seconds, we've got push-ups and a crunch or sit-up type exercise, and then we're done. Okay? And you will have learned several different ways to change up simple moves and add some spice and variety to your workout. Almost there. 10 seconds left. Good. Good. All right. So, certainly with that, sometimes when you're doing as many repetitions as possible, you can get a little cardio aspect going there too. So the heart may definitely be pumping, you may be breathing a little bit harder. That's great, okay? More bang for your buck there. So moving to push-ups next, all right? Modify if you need to, use the knees, use a chair, use the wall, but basically what I tell people is I would rather see you modify than stop it in the middle of the minute or whatever long our time increment is. I would rather see you modify and keep going than stop, okay? So we've got a minute. We're gonna do some push-ups, as many as we can get, and the timer will go for us. Remember choosing your stance, narrow with elbows in for triceps, okay? Hands under the shoulders, elbows slightly out for more of just a standard chest, and then hands out wide for activating more of the chest and shoulders, all right? I'm gonna go a little bit wider again for a minute, and I'm gonna do as many as I can on my toes before dropping to the knees. Ready? Here we go. So on push-ups, making sure that you exhale on the way up. Okay, almost using your breath to help push you away from the floor. Keeping the core engaged too. You'll also notice I like to keep my feet or my knees in a little bit more of a wider stance. Gives me a little bit more stability there. Almost there, you guys. Less than 10 seconds left. Whew. So, maybe right about now, you might be thinking to yourself, gee, that was really cruel of you to do the round with as many repetitions as possible last after we're already tired, but that was somewhat purposeful. I like a good challenge, okay? And if I'm truly going to bring my muscles to fatigue, I'm trying to make myself better here, so I'm going to try and work harder on already somewhat fatigued muscles. So I realize it kind of stinks, but it's good for you. Last little exercise here, as many reps as possible, crunches for a minute, okay? Remember, hands across the chest or back here. Use a partner for your feet or anchor them under a piece of furniture. Crunches, so not full sit-ups, and we're gonna exhale on the way up, all right? 1 minute, ready, here we go. Contracting on every rise. Resisting on the way down too, not just letting yourself flop back, okay? Resisting on the way down as well. Always, always, always focusing on that good form. Trying to get the shoulder blades at least to rise a little bit up off of the mat or off of the floor. Almost there. All right. So that was our timer. Hopefully you have, learned at least one, if not 4 different ways that you can change up simple moves to add some variety to your workout. So remember, stance, positioning, or range of motion, adding in pulses to your workout, increasing the time under tension or how long you're holding a specific exercise, and then volume or reps. So maybe trying to get as many reps as possible in a certain amount of time, okay? And a lot of these can be applied to any kind of move that you're doing in terms of resistance training, all right? Let's do just a real quick child's pose. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, pressing the bottom back in between the heels, arms outstretched, forehead down to the ground. Rising back up, stepping one leg through. Use your hands to help yourself back up. Good. Arm comes across and down. I went pretty wide on most of my push-ups, so I want to stretch out the shoulders. Release and switch. Good. Taking the feet a little bit wider, one big cleansing breath up. Stretch and exhale down. One more. And stretch. Exhale, arms down to the sides. Everyone, thanks so much for joining for another Workout Wednesday. If you want to stay up to date on all of our fitness videos, be sure to tune into the Urbana Park District Facebook page or our YouTube channel for Move It Mondays, Workout Wednesdays, and even Fitness Tracker Fridays. Again, I'm Elsie Hedgespeth with Urbana Park District, and